What if I told you that success in 2025 was not about grinding and working harder, but much more about who you actually believe you are deep down? In 2025, success belongs to those who are strategic, resilient, and most importantly, aligned with the identity of the person you want to become. This video is not just about goals. It's about becoming the person who doesn't chase success, who actually embodies it instead. You don't get what you want, you get what you believe you are. So the fastest way to sabotage your success this year is to chase after what society believes to be successful, the hustle and the grind, the money, the status, all that kind of thing. When deep down you might not feel this way, that you might not feel you deserve success or that you're good enough for it. So before the habits and before any of the goals, there's identity. And this is the piece I want to look at with you today. And your identity is shaped by one thing and one thing alone, your thoughts. They start everything. So your thoughts are like the script for your future. And you'll recognize this because in the past you'll have constantly said to yourself in your head, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not wealthy. And this is then reflected in your life. So you can't just suddenly expect to think, I want to be successful, I want to be wealthy in my life, when your thoughts don't support this. No strategy will actually save you because your operating system within your head is faulty and it's not supporting the thoughts that you should be having to become the version of yourself you want to become. So you can start thinking like the person and the version of you that's already successful. So what does that version of me believe in? What does that version of me do? What habits do they have? Success is like this thought loop that goes around your head, inside your head, before it actually happens. And this is the foundation, shall we say, of where your identity comes from. After thoughts comes your feelings and then your actions. And your identity is reinforced through this. So the tiny interactions that you take to support the version of yourself that's successful. So if you want to be fit, go to the gym. Be the person that reinforces this act. If you want to be wealthy, start saving your money or set up a passive income stream or do something that you can be consistent with. And I think a lot of this actually comes down to protecting what you put into your environment and into your mind, and also the distractions that take up your time. So by this I mean, what kind of things are you reading? Who are you following online? What are the distractions that you fill your brain with? So if your social media habit has gotten out of control and the distractions you've got going in cause you to compare yourself to others, you're never going to be successful because you're constantly questioning yourself and comparing yourself to their perfect lives. These are the things that shape your thoughts, so you have to be careful and protect them and distract yourself with things that you choose. So when I say, what are you reading? Choose books that support this version of yourself you want to become. Environment with this is everything. Often you'll have heard the phrase, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And if these people don't support you and you bring you down, you're never going to want to push yourself out of that comfort zone. But if these people do, and they encourage you and they want to expand your horizon, then you're going to push and want to achieve and make them see that their faith in you is justified. Now I say that action follows feelings, which follows your thoughts, but you don't fall into the trap that just because you think you're doing something, success will naturally follow. In 2025, success comes to those who know what matters the most to them, knows what's actually stopping them from doing the thing they want to achieve, but most importantly, they know how to use their time with intention, doing the right things. And the best way to find this out is to measure what you're doing on a daily basis. What gets measured gets done. And if you're hoping to achieve certain goals, to achieve a level of success, you have to know that those goals are being measured in order to really drill down on the things that are working and not do so much of the stuff that isn't. A lot of the time we see people who are successful think that they've become this sort of overnight success. But that's often not the case. And what's happened is they've been doing stuff consistently for years to get to this point. And that comes down to their habits. So you don't need that life-changing moment to succeed. You need life-changing patterns and habits in your life to make a change. And this probably actually looks really boring. So it could be consistently getting up at a set time, consistently posting on social media or doing marketing if you're a business owner, consistently getting a run in and training or reading in your area of specialism that you want to be successful in. It's not sexy or anything like that, but it's the thing that's going to make you different from everybody else. These all support that version of you that you want to become, and it makes it stronger. So we're always becoming somebody, but the question is, who are we actually becoming? And these habits support a different version of us. So on that, it's about consistency and commitment. And I mean really committing to yourself to become a different version of you. You know, it's not just being interested in something, because that suggests that you can take it or leave it. But when you commit, you're really telling yourself that this matters, this is worthwhile, and it makes you go all in. It's like you're making a promise to yourself. And here's the truth, the successful you isn't just waiting at some kind of finish line, it's happening gradually over time with the inputs that you put into your system, so the books that you read, the people that you're around, the commitments that you make to yourself, but it's also waiting within the decisions that you make. Will you go on social media or will you study? Will you doubt yourself and give in to your self-limiting beliefs, or will you act? Will you repeat the same old patterns or will you interrupt them? Maybe 2025 is the year that you didn't just have more goals, although you need to have goals in your life, but you set yourself a minimum standard of what you want to achieve in order to get the success that you crave. It's not a case of saying, I'll try one day, I'll do the same tomorrow, and then giving up. It's what you do to commit to yourself. And by doing this, it's almost like you're then saying, this is now who I am. And that is about identity. So if you really want to achieve some level of success this year, don't just do what you perceive other people do. Carve your own path. Ask yourself what version of success you're chasing, and then really embody that version of yourself that you need to become. And you can do that through habits, consistency, committing to yourself and making promises, having a minimum standard, and changing your thoughts, which is the fundamental start of it all. I'd love to know what your version of success is and if you found this useful. So please do drop a comment below, and if you found it useful, share it with somebody who you think might need it today.